Hello viewers, welcome to my channel Online Biology Tutorials. In this live of today, I will be telling you the difficult words of the chapter 5, Morphology of the Flowering Plants. This is being taken from NCRT of class 11. So this is Biology, class 11th, NCRT, chapter number 5, Morphology of the Flowering Plants. We will learn how to pronounce and we will also understand the meaning simultaneously. So, first of all, as the name of the chapter is morphology, that means the external study. Means by looking towards a plant, how will you be able to judge that whether it is a monocot or a dicot? So, seeing the external look is morphology. The external look of a plant is known as morphology, and in this we'll be studying only about angiosperms. That is why the name of the chapter is Morphology of the Flowering Plants. Angiosperms, they are broadly divided into two categories, more monocots and dicots. So in this chapter, we will be studying how things vary in monocots and dicots, how roots are different, how leaves are different, how stems are different, and how you will be able to identify by seeing them externally whether they are belonging to the dicot group or they are belonging to the monocot group, right? So if you talk about the root, right, taproot are found in the dicot, whereas fibrous roots and adventitious roots are found in the monocot. So a fibrous root is a one in which a stout root is there and then it is further branching. These are the fibrous roots and these are the adventitious roots. So the words that are for you, fibrous examples are also important. Monstera, adventitious roots, and courage, right? So they help in binding roots, they basically help in binding the soil, right? So in case of roots, we have studied three terms, fibrous, tap, and adventitious. Taproot is found in the dicots, whereas fibrous and adventitious are a characteristic feature of monocots. Now, if you see a taproot, it is divided into the root tip, which is protected by root cap, region of meristematic activity, region of elongation, region of maturation. And here you can see clearly that root hair are being seen in the region of maturation. So the words that you need to take care of are meristematic, elongation, maturation. Learn all the features that the region of meristematic zone will be having meristematic cells, and the prominent properties of them are that they are small, thin-walled, and with dense protoplasm. Root cap protects the root tip. Root tip is the region where apical meristematic tissues are present. So they will be continuously dividing by mitosis and will increase the number of cells. A root cap has a special type of cells which are also known as quiescent cells which do not divide. So if you see a slide of root tip in microscope, then you will be able to identify clearly between the cells of the root cap and the cells of the root tip. So these are the features written for elongation zone, maturation zone. Do have a fine reading because the characteristic features of each are important. So if it is asked to you from up to down, please remember you need to write region of maturation first, followed by region of elongation and region of meristematic activity. But if it is asked to you that which zone of root is nearer to the soil, then you will be answering root tip, which is protected by root cap. Now, if you talk about stem is basically divided into nodes and internodes. Nodes are the horizontal lines which are clearly seen in sugarcane, and the distance between two nodes is known as internode. So, whether you are able to demarcate or not, but stem will always be distinct into nodes and internodes. The place where branching occurs are the nodal areas or the nodes, and whereas the distance between two branches is known as internode. Photosynthetes means the material which are produced by the process of photosynthesis. Axillary bud, okay? As we move to the next part, these are the various parts of leaves that you need to say well. These are stipule, petiole, axillary bud, and lamina. Lamina is the expanded portion of the leaf that basically helps in the photosynthesis. Here you can see two types of leaves. This one on the left, it is belonging to dicot. This one on the right, it is belonging to monocot. How you can identify if the network of veins is forming a network, I mean, they are branching one after the other, then such a type of venation is known as reticulate venation, and it is a characteristic feature of dicot plants. Whereas if the veins are running parallel, you can see that this is the mid vein and the other veins are the branches. That's why we call them as veinlets. So veins and veinlets are parallel to each other. What are veins? Veins are actually the prominent areas where the mechanical tissues are high, where the conducting tissue like xylem and phloem are high, and they basically help in the transport of water, minerals, and food. So if the veins and the veinlets are arranged parallel, the venation is known as parallel venation. But if they are forming a network as seen in this leaf, then it is belonging to the dicot. So seeing the external look, you can identify the leaf, whether it is of a monocot or is it of a dicot. Pulvinous is the solan area which is seen at the base of the leaf. The petiole is the leaf stalk. Lamina, I have already said about it, that this is the expanded portion of the leaf that basically helps in the photosynthesis. Lamina is also known as the leaf blade. Now, as you come across different types of plants, they will have different types of leaves, and moreover, the margin of the leaf means this external surface of the leaf will also vary from one plant to another. So, here, if you see, it is clearly being written that B is with the reticulate venation, and this one is the parallel venation. So venation means the arrangement of the veins on the leaves. Now, as you go further, there are two types of leaves being given, simple leaves and the compound leaves. Everybody has seen mango tree. Mango tree has simple leaves in which the lamina is not divided. But if you have seen a neem tree, right, or gulmohar tree, if you see their leaves, they are divided, the lamina is divided, so they will come into the category of a compound leaf. I will shortly make an elaborative video where I will be explaining in detail simple and compound leaves. So in case this channel is helpful to you, you can subscribe so that whenever next slide will be done, you can be a part of it. Now the compound leaves are further divided into two, pinnately compound and palmately compound. The one on the left is pinnately compound because the lamina is divided, right? And this is palmately compound because the structure of a palm I think everybody knows, हिंदी में से हथेली कहते हैं, right? Your palm of the hand. So it resembles your palm. That is why the name of the leaf is palmately compound. Why are we saying it compound? Because the lamina is divided. So if the lamina is divided, leaf can either be pinnately compound or it could be palmately compound. Do learn examples here. Now the next one, phyllotaxy. Phyllotaxy refers to the arrangement of leaves on the stem. As I spoke, that stem is always divided into nodes and internodes. Nodes are the areas on which actually branching occurs. So if at each node only one leaf is born, one on the right and another time on the left, one on the right, then another time on the left, and this goes on, then the phyllotaxy is going to be named as alternate. But if at each node you are finding two leaves, see here, this is the node and these are two leaves. This is the node and these are the two leaves. This is the node and these are two leaves. Then such a type of phyllotaxy is known as opposite phyllotaxy. This, the third example, is the one in which from a single point multiple leaves are seen. And this is quite common in Elstonia scholaris. Elstonia scholaris is a prominent tree of the Gurgaon region, and this flowers somewhere around October and November, and it gives the fragrance of cardamom, means elaichi, right? So Elstonia is one of the commonest plant. If you can feel the fragrance of that flower, then you can take out Google Lens in your mobile, take a click of it and find it out. Otherwise, shortly I will be uploading a video in which I will show you the pictures of all such type of phyllotaxis. So how many types of phyllotaxis we are done with? Alternate, opposite, and whorled. Alternate means one leaf at one node. Opposite means two leaves at one node. And the third one was whorled, in which multiple leaves were found at one node. So the examples that are given in the book should be pronounced as Calotropis. Elstonia, I have already told you, with the whorled inflorescence. Whorled phyllotaxy, sorry. So the next topic is inflorescence, in which we talk about how are flowers being born on the plant. There are broadly two types of inflorescence that you need to study. The students who are preparing for NEET will be studying other types as well. So for class 11 subjective examination for CBSE, you just have to study two, racemose and cymose. Racemose is the one inflorescence in which the main axis is not terminating into a flower. Because the main axis is not terminating into a flower, that is why the plant growth is more, and the arrangement is acropetal. Whereas in the cymose, the main axis terminates into a flower. That is why the plant growth is limited, right? So racemose and cymose are the two types of inflorescences that you need to read. In cymose, the main axis terminates into a flower, whereas it doesn't in the racemose. The flower base is known as thalamus or receptacle. If the flower is bearing both the sexes or both the sex organs like androecium and gynoecium, then the flower will be known as bisexual. Bi means two, sexual means sexes. So both the gametes are there on one flower. It is going to be named as bisexual. And if the flower has either androecium or gynoecium, then the flower will be named as unisexual. Uni in bio always means single. So whenever single sex is there or a single gamete is there, then the flower will be known as unisexual. Next one, actinomorphic. So actinomorphic word should be used in case the flower has radial symmetry, means it can be divided along its radius. Zygomorphic means in case the flower has bilateral symmetry, means you can divide it into the lateral position and you will get two equal parts. So basing upon symmetry, a flower has two types of symmetry, actinomorphic or zygomorphic. So actinomorphic symmetry is being noticed in mustard, datura, chili. These examples are very important for your home examination and for your NEET. Zygomorphic symmetry is being noticed in pea, gulmohar, bean, and cassia. Asymmetric means A means absent. Symmetric means symmetry. So when there is no symmetry, we have to use the word asymmetric. A flower could be trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous. Remember, monocot flowers are generally trimerous, means everything will be in multiples of 3. Whereas in the case of dicots, it could be tetramerous or pentamerous. A flower has 4 whorls. By now you must have studied calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. So if sepals are present in multiples of 3, petals in multiples of 3, and anthers and the central part pistil is also in multiples of 3, then the flower will be known as trimerous. Whereas if these 4 whorls are present in multiples of 4, the flower will be known as tetramerous. If the 4 whorls are present in multiples of 5, then it is known as pentamerous. Bracts are the structures that are present just on the outer side of the calyx. So if the flower has bract, then it will be known as bracteate. In case the bracts are missing, the flower will be known as ebracteate. Okay, so on this page, you have read the terms thalamus, receptacle, bisexual, unisexual, actinomorphic, zygomorphic, trimerous, tetramerous, pentamerous, asymmetric, dhatura, cassia, ebracteate. Now, these diagrams are also important as they are telling you the position of ovary. If you look into A and B are being mentioned as hypogynous. Hypogynous word is used when the ovary is superior. We have already studied that calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium are the four whorls. This you have studied in grade 10 as well. So in case ovary, which is the innermost whorl or gynoecium, if this is at the top and other whorls are emerging on the outer side. See, ovary is at the top and the other whorls are beneath it. Then the position of the ovary is known as superior. For the superior ovary, we need to use the word hypogynous. Okay, so in case we are, suppose G, suppose we are writing the word G and we are writing 2 means how many carpals are there? 2 carpals are there. So we will be putting a mark just beneath 2 to show that the position of the ovary is superior, right? Now, next part. See this diagram. This one is the perigynous one. So, perigynous ovary is half inferior, means it is somewhat located half. I mean, the other walls and the ovary is approximate at the same position, whereas epigynous condition, which is shown to you in the last one, is the inferior ovary, in which ovary is located at the base, but the other walls are at the top. So hypogynous, ovaries at top. Epigynous, ovaries at the bottom and other walls are at the top. And in between condition is the perigynous. Always remember that we can use the word half inferior for the perigynous. And the examples of perigynous, this one could be plum, rose and peach, right? So here are the words being given. I have already spoken about it. Hypogynous, superior, perigynous, epigynous. Now the parts of the flower. Parts of the flower, the first whorl is known as the calyx, which is the collection of sepals. If the sepals are free, we will be using the word polysepalous. And if the petals, if the sepals, sorry, sepals word, collection of sepals is known as calyx. So in case the sepals are free, it will be polysepalous. In case they are fused, it will be gamosepalous. Gamo in botany always means fusion and poly means free. You can see here sepals united and sepals free. Remember that as you move ahead, they have used few symbols as well. In this diagram, please see they have used K. So K, whenever you are writing the floral formula, in that case, you will always use the letter K for the sepal. So in case you are writing K2, and you are not enclosing this two term in the brackets, that means the condition is polysepalous. And if you are writing K bracket 2, then it is gamosepalous, right? Corolla is the collection of petals, right? So we use the same terms for it, gamopetalous and polypetalous. Gamo means fusion. Fusion of what? Petals. Poly means free. Petalous means petals. So if petals are free, polypetalous. If petals are fused, gamopetalous. Now these petals, if you do the flower upside down, then you can see how are these petals being arranged with respect to one another. So basically this type of arrangement of the petals on the thalamus, it is known as estivation. And estivation is broadly of four types. It could be velvet, it could be twisted, it could be imbricate, or it could be vexillary. The terms are very important for you. Now see, this first figure is for the velvet. This is petal number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. How many petals are there? 5. That means what term can we use? Pentamerous, because they are in the multiples of 5. So this is for we have used the pentamerous term. Now, see another thing that I want to show you here. Why is it being categorized as velvet? See, the margins of petals are close to each other, but they are not overlapping. See here. At all the 5 instances, you can see that they are close, but they are not touching each other. But see here, the overlapping has been seen, and this is known as the twisted. The first one was velvet. This one is twisted. See here, one is in, this side is out. This is again in, out, in, out, in, out. So one side of the petal is enclosed with the help of another one. Such a type of estivation, if you are noticing in a flower, then the flower will be known to have twisted estivation. Now see in imbricate, what is the prominent feature? Again, 5 petals are given to you. This one is completely in. This one is completely out and the rest are twisted. So out of 5, one is in, one is completely out and rest 3 are like twisted. Now let's come to the next one, which is vexillary. The description of the vexillary is written here. First read the description, it will be very helpful. How many petals are there? 5 petals. The largest one is known as standard. So which one is the largest? This one, right? Starting from here, let me erase this so that it should be clearer to you. See here, this one is the largest, right? So this one is known as standard. And the 2 lateral wings, these two just occurring beneath, they are known as wings. And the anterior one is known as the keel. Let me make you clear this one, the bottommost one. See in the bottommost, one more important thing to notice is this is petal number 1, this is petal number 2, and they both are fused. So if you see, this is one petal, this is another petal, and they are being fused. Clear, I think. So the first one that we have read was velvet, another was twisted, and third one was imbricate, and then it was vexillary. Vexillary is also known as papilionaceous, and it is a characteristic feature seen in the plants belonging to the family Leguminosae. Leguminosae includes all the legumes in which root nodules are found. You have read in your junior classes, right? So if the petals are showing this type of arrangement, they will fall into the category of velvet estivation, twisted estivation. This third one is the imbricate, where one in, one out, and rest 3 are twisted. And the last one, this one was vexillary. Next, let's quickly move further. This is a staminode, epipetalous, epiphyllous, monoadelphous, diadelphous, polyadelphous. Staminode means when stamen is sterile. Epipetalous means when stamen is adhered to the petal. Epiphyllous means if it is attached to the tepals. In the case of monocot, sepals and petals are not differentiated. That is why we call them as perianth or tepals. So if petals are if the stamens are adhered to the tepals, then it will be known as epiphyllous. If the stamens are in more than 2 bundles, then they will be known as polyadelphous. If the stamens are forming 2 bundles, then diadelphous. And if they are forming 1 bundle, then they will be grouped into the monoadelphous. So, in case we are talking about cohesion and adhesion, remember cohesion means with dissimilar things. If stamen is adhering with petal, it is an example of cohesion. And if the word adhesion has been given to you, adhesion means with similar things. So if stamen is adhered with another stamen, then these 3 terms will be used: monoadelphous, diadelphous, polyadelphous. But if a word has been given to you, cohesion, means with dissimilar things. So petals are dissimilar from the stamen, then you can use these two terms, epipetalous and epiphyllous. Gynoecium is the innermost wall of the flower, which includes the female reproductive part, as androecium represents the male reproductive part, gynoecium represents the female reproductive part. Remember, androecium and gynoecium, they both are the essential walls of the flower. They are to be there in case the plant needs to complete its life cycle. So the terms used here are placenta, ovary, style, stigma, apocarpus, syncarpus. Apo means in case we are having the free carpels. Syncarpus means in case the carpels are fused. Basing upon the placenta arrangement, it could be of these five types. It could be marginal. The diagrams are very important. First one is marginal, then we have exile, then parietal. This is free central, and then this one is the basal. Basal is a characteristic feature of the Compositae family. And in this Compositae family, we can have the examples of sunflower, safflower, dahlia, marigold, etc. Right? So examples with each type of placentation are important. In case the fruits are formed without the act of fertilization, such a type of fruit is known as parthenocarpic fruit. And the examples of parthenocarpic fruits are grapes and also strawberries are its example. The fruit wall is known as pericarp. If the pericarp is differentiated into three layers, the outer one is known as epicarp, then the middle one mesocarp, and then the inner one endocarp. In case only one carpel is there, the condition will be known as monocarpellary. And if the ovary is located at the top and other whorls are at base, the condition will become superior. So here in the diagram, in the case of mango, it has been shown to you. Definitely you should know what is the edible part. So in case of this mango, the edible part is the mesocarp. But according to the NCRT, the edible part of coconut is given as seed, but actually it is the endosperm. So you need to follow NCRT. So you need to learn these diagrams well. Now, in the case of seed, there will be embryonal axis. The outer coat of the seed will be known as testa. The inner coat will be known as tegmen. There will be a scar on the seed which is known as hilum and a pore which is known as micropyle. The seeds with endosperm are known as endospermic. So the endospermic seeds are basically being found in the monocots, not in the dicots. And here the diagram has been given to you for a dicot seed. So this is the seed coat, this is the scar being given, hilum, and a small pore through which the seeds take in water and they get swollen. Embryonal axis, this was studied by you in grade 10 also. So embryonal axis is divided into two parts. The bottommost part is known as radicle, the upward part is known as plumule. Radicle will form the future root, plumule will form the future shoot, and the reserve food will be stored by the cotyledons. Monocot seed will have endosperm, scutellum, which is the cotyledon of monocot, right? Remember, the only cotyledon present in the monocot is being named as scutellum and not as cotyledon. Radicle is the future root. Plumule will form the future shoot. Plumule is protected by coleoptile and radicle is protected by coleorhiza. Important to know. Coleorhiza with rhiza, please relate it with root. The seed coat and the fruit ball and eleuron layer. Very important. See the major part in the monocot leaf. This part is endosperm. And the outermost layer of endosperm is known as eleuron. Right? So the major part is endosperm, which is rich in protein. That is why it is suggested to eat corns because they are a richer source of protein. So aileron layer you have understood. Scutellum is the cotyledon of the monocot. Plumule radicle you know. Coleoptile and coleorhiza are seen in the monocots and coleoptile protects the plumule and coleorhiza protects the root. Now this is an important thing and this diagram, which is given to you, is the floral diagram. And at the base, you can see that floral formula is written to you. In case of this floral formula, please see the first circle with a plus signifies that it is actinomorphic. Circle with arrow means that male part is there, seminate part is there, and plus means the female part is there. That means this sign which is being made signifies bisexual condition. K means sepals. 2 plus 2 means they are in two worlds. C4 means corolla. They are 4 in number. Then A refers for androecium. 2 plus 4 means they are present in two whorls. Two whorls means draw a circle and see how many stamens are there. Only two. Now draw another circle. How many stamens are there? Four. That is why it is being written 2 plus 4. So in the outer wall it is 2. In the inner wall it is 4. And you cannot reverse this order as 4 plus 2. Otherwise it would be a mistake. Now next thing that has been written here is for the gynoecium. In the case of gynoecium, how many carpels are there? 2. It is syncarpous condition and there is a dash beneath the G, right? So this dash beneath the G signifies which condition? Hypogynous condition. Now the next one, this is zygomorphic. Zygomorphic, and this was the plant mustard belonging to the family Brassicaceae. So overall in your syllabus you have to read one complete family Solanaceae and another the flower mustard belonging to the Brassicaceae family. So Solanaceae and Brassicaceae you must go through. Earlier we had another families too like Leguminosae and Liliaceae, but they are not a part of CBSE right now. So Solanaceae is a potato family. It is generally growing in the temperate regions. The vegetative characters of the stem are being given. Remember that the scientific name of potato is given here, Solanum tuberosum, right? Important. The leaves, just wait. I hope it is clear to you. So it is going to be leaves alternate, simple, rarely pinnate, compound, exstipulate means stipules. These are the thorn-like structures. If they are not there, leaves will be known as exstipulate and venation will be reticulate. Solanum nigrum is the plant that they have taken for description, and the common name of this plant is makoe. So a flowering twig is being given to you. Twig means a small part of the plant where a flower is also there and venation can be seen, and obviously venation can be seen, and the arrangement of leaves on the stem can also be seen, whether it is alternate, opposite, or word. So whenever we are studying any family, to study the vegetative characters and the reproductive characters, we need to take a flowering twig. Flowering twig is a part of the plant in which flower has to be there, buds can be there, leaves are to be there, so that we can have an idea about branching pattern, venation, we can study the flower. So we have to study vegetative characters means we need to study root, stem and leaf, and reproductive characters can be studied by the help of flower. This is the floral diagram of Solanum nigrum. See here on the outer side, green structures are five. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And they are fused. So what can we write? K5 bracket. Why? Because gemosepalous condition is there. Now see another important thing that in between two sepals, a petal is there. Very important in case you will get the diagram to draw. Please make petals in between the sepals. So how many petals are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And see, an inverted U structure is also there in between. That means all the petals are fused together. So what term can we use for them? C5 and then a bracket. C5 means petals are 5, they are fused. That is why 5 is enclosed in the brackets. Now the next thing. Let me clear this so that it should be visible to you. Next important thing, see here, stamen number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and they have adhered to the petals, to the corolla, right? So this is epipetalous condition. I'll show you in the book how is it written. And in the center, how many carpels are there? Bicarpellary condition is there. So bicarpellary condition is there. I'll show you how it has to be written. See here, first circle with a plus signifies that it is, I hope now it is clear. So now first circle with the plus means that it is going to be an example of the actinomorphic flower, means radial symmetry is present. This circle with arrow and a plus means bisexual condition. See here, K5, and it is enclosed in the bracket, right? So that means how many sepals are present? 5. They are enclosed in the bracket. That means this is gamosepalous condition. For petals, gamopetalous word has to be used. 5 petals are there. If numbers are given to you as 5, you can correlate that this is an example of a dicot flower. See here, Androecium 5, and an arc is made in between. This arc shows the epi condition, epipetalous condition. Very important. So whenever you see an arc in between C and the A, so C means corolla, A means androecium. So this signifies epipetalous condition. And here G means gynoecium, underscore means under, if you see that G has a dash beneath it, this signifies hypogynous condition. Two carpels are there, and that they are enclosed in the bracket because syncarpous condition is there. So whenever these carpels are fused, we will use the term in description as syncarpous. And how are we going to show? Two with the brackets. So see, all the terms which are given in the vegetative characters are important. You, for vegetative characters, you need to mention about the condition of the root, stem, and leaves. This you can learn. And for the inflorescence, it has been mentioned. It is going to be solitary, axillary, cymose. For the flowers, it has been mentioned bisexual, actinomorphic. For calyx, sepals are 5, united, persistent. Persistent word is very important. Persistent means even after fertilization, sepals are still there. So normally what happens in flowers, sepals are just for the protection. In case after fertilization, sepals are still there, then we need to use the word persistent. Persistent sepals are being in brinjal. Everybody might have seen brinjal. See, in the brinjal, suppose I am making this brinjal and it is bharte ka baigan. Then in the bharte ka baigan, this terminal part is there, right? And this terminal part is the calyx. Even in the green chili also, you might have seen that this part at the top is the sepal. So remember that Solanaceae members, they show the presence of persistent sepals. For the corolla, they have mentioned petals 5 united with velvet estivation. In case you are not clear with the velvet estivation, once this live will be over, you can replay that part. It is already being discussed. Androecium stamens are 5, epipetalous condition. For gynoecium, bicarpellary condition is there. They are obliquely placed. Obliquely means slant. Syncarpous means carpels are fused. Ovary superior means hypogynous. Bilocular means two locules. Placenta is swollen with many ovules. So placenta was swollen in the center and exile placentation was seen on it. Fruits are berry or capsule. No description will be asked to you on it. You just need to learn what type of fruits are being found in Solanaceae. So answer will be berry or capsule. Seeds are many and they are endospermous. This is a unique feature that it is belonging to the dicot. And generally, the dicot seeds are non-endospermic, but in Solanaceae, the seeds are endospermous. Floral diagram I have already explained to you. In NEET, you may get also a question on find it out the medicinal plants of the Solanaceae. So belladonna is its example, ashwagandha is its example, fumigatory plants are tobacco, and ornamentals are petunia. Ornamental plants are those plants which are being grown for their beauty. Right. So this was the quickest revision of the morphology chapter in approximately 40 minutes. Shortly, I will be recording a descriptive video on this. In case you find it helpful, do subscribe to the channel so that you can get the recent notifications. Thank you for joining today's live. See you in next video.